Well, to score 80 points, come away with a victory, have Cam McGusty, a senior, Nasir Brooks, a senior, play as well as they did. I think both of them had career highs tonight. So a very nice way for our seniors to get a win at home and end that losing streak, which was obviously very disappointing.
And our first question comes from David Furunes.
Hey, Coach, what was available for Nas early, the way he was able to score, and then also for Cam late, the way he kind of took over on that run once BC took the lead momentarily? Just what was really working for the two of them at those particular points?
Well, the first thing is, I'm sure you didn't know this, but Nas did not practice on Wednesday and Thursday. He against Virginia, he tore out of his shoe and hurt his Achilles, and he was getting treatments. He only did like warm-up stuff and dummy offense to get ready for this game. So it's really impressive what he was able to do. Our focus was on throwing him the ball. It was so funny on practice Wednesday. The whole practice plan was set up to throw him the ball a lot, and then he didn't practice. And we did it on Thursday, and he could only do, just like with no defense, no competition, no full court at all. But the players knew what the game plan was. They executed the game plan. They got it to him early. He was able to score and finish around the basket. We got the ball in Cam's hands. Isaiah would normally have been the player with it, but Isaiah got himself in early foul trouble. So we utilized Cam, and he was in a very, very good place mentally tonight, scoring the ball, finding the open man, making a lot of good decisions.
Our next question comes from Michelle Kaufman.
Hey, Jim, congratulations. How important is it, to going into the ACC tournament on a high note like this, the difference between winning and losing this game? Just how big of a win is it, and what was the mood like in the locker room?
Well, I can tell you, in my mind, it was a huge game. And I stress that to the players. We have struggled mightily with our roster. So few players, so many injuries, and the strain that you feel mentally when you're not winning. And yet our guys have had a great attitude, a great work ethic, and it's just so difficult to prepare when you can't really practice properly. So to me, this was a huge game. We're going to be able to go into the ACC tournament, feel a lot better about ourselves than we did this last few days. We get a win, which ends the losing streak. And we don't know who we're going to play on Tuesday. But once you go into the ACC tournament, everybody's record is the same, 0-0. So if we could somehow score 80 points again, I'd be very, very happy and be optimistic that would give us a chance to win the game.
Our next question comes from Steve Wine.
Jim, how would you assess the way the guys played down the stretch?
Well, I would say very good and very bad all at the same time. We wanted to get them in a half-court game. We wanted to take away the threes. And there was a stretch. They made a number of threes because we just didn't defend it correctly. We also fouled them way too much. We're a team that doesn't foul very often. Isaiah Wong getting into early foul trouble in the first 7 minutes. He picked up 2 fouls. We were very concerned about, him being in foul trouble for the second half. So we took him out and rested because he worked so hard. By giving him that rest, we felt like, hey, he can have maybe a much more energetic second half. But we made some free throws. We missed some, obviously. But I'm just happy we won the game. We made a lot of mistakes that you'd like to correct, but we did a lot of good things. Nas scoring the way he did around the basket. He made some good free throws. Cam McGusty scoring as well as he did. So, hopefully with a little bit of rest and a little bit of preparation, whoever we play on Tuesday will see us at our best.
We have time for a couple more questions. Next one coming from Chris Stock.
Coach, you'd mentioned that you felt like this, you just said it now about it being important, this one tonight, and you felt like the guys were going to feel that way coming into the game. Were there things early on or maybe pregame that really gave you that indication? And then throughout the game, because of the way you guys were playing, and it really sustained it throughout the game?
Actually, it was the opposite. Our shoot-around today lacked a lot of energy. Now, some of it is, Zoom classes. They got schoolwork that's on their mind. But normally the shoot-around is about 50 minutes. Today it was like 20. As soon as I saw the lack of energy, I just told them to eat their pregame meal and get some rest and come back with some energy tonight. So I was very concerned at 3 o'clock this afternoon of whether or not we'd be able to come with enough energy to execute the game plan and defend the three-point shot. With the way Boston College played against us up in Boston, making 18 threes, it was just a very big concern of whether or not they would do that again. And fortunately, Elijah's defense on Jay Heath was instrumental. I think he ended up like 4 for 10. And that was a big difference.
And our final question tonight comes from David Ferones.
Also, just wanted to ask about Anthony Walker because he had a great game. Obviously, overshadowed a little bit by Brooks and McGusty doing what they did on senior night, but Anthony Walker tonight.
If Anthony, what we did with Anthony Walker yesterday, I think is very, very important for his development. We sent him a 2 or 3 minute video of watching Bruce Brown play with with the Brooklyn Nets. And we just told him, Bruce has a way of getting himself involved in the offense without dribbling the ball to death or trying to do too much. Bruce had 17 points in their last game in Houston. Anthony had 17 tonight. That may be a coincidence, but a lot of this stuff he did, I'm hoping he watched Bruce Brown play in the NBA and say, I can do a lot of those same things. And that's what he did. 17 points. He had 7 rebounds and a number of assists, I think 4 assists.